Alright, here we are on day 2 and we're ready to sand. You've got your 2 yo-yo halves that you've cut out with your names on both parts, and you'll need your box out today, so you might as well get your box out. You need to sand 2 different ways. We have this sandpaper that is used very little for this step, this orange one. We should leave it in the box generally, and then you'll need to get a piece of this white or gray sandpaper from the cabinet. First thing I'm going to show you is just to sand the back side of it. You want your yo-yo to kind of, this is a very smooth side of your wood on the inside, and your yo-yo won't work very well if it's going to be very smooth. You want to rough it up a little bit on the inside. So we're going to take this yellow sandpaper, or the orange, and I'm just going to place it on here, and just kind of, I can feel that already, just roughing it up, and kind of gives it a rough feel to it. And I'll be able to go switch. I don't want to do the same way over and over. Just kind of change the direction, because you're not going to see this on the inside, so you don't. It's not for appearance, but you do want it to be roughed up a little bit. And my name's gone. Mostly, if I wanted to rewrite that, I could. It's probably a good idea just to rewrite your name. I won't do that, but you should. And so I'm just gonna rough up the other side real quick. And so I have 2 sides that are roughed up. Now, then that's all you need that sandpaper for. Then you take your other sandpaper and you want to feel it. And right here I can feel it's very rough. It just depends. Some sides will be kind of smooth, and others will be much rougher. And there's this little edge here on the side of your yo-yo that doesn't feel like much, but it is just got enough edge on there that it'll actually cut your string. So I'm going to show you that first. You're going to take your yo-yo have and set it on the sandpaper at an angle, and I'm just giving it this turning motion, and I'm just going around a few times, and then feel it to see if you've got all the edges. I feel I didn't quite get it all right there as much as I'd like, so you just want to take that off. It doesn't have to have, you don't want to round it, but you just want to take that sharp edge off. Then basically you want to sand the entire thing except the hole. There's no sanding that needs to be done inside the hole. Don't try. You're only going to hurt the performance of your yo-yo if you do so. And just want to take it and maybe fold up your sandpaper. A little easier to use a smaller piece of sandpaper. And you want to sand every edge. It's going to look a lot nicer in the end if you sand top real well, and then every edge here. Just kind of really work at it. And if you think there's some rough spots, like there's right there, there's that line, that's where my bit caught towards the end. You really want to sand those out. And if you're not sure if you're done sanding, just ask an instructor and they can examine it. And this will take quite a while. Not something you can get done in just a few moments. For demonstration purposes, I'll be done here in just real quickly. So at this time, if I thought I was done, I'd make sure everything, I could feel it. There, I feel a little rough spot right there. Just make sure you just kind of, the best way to test it is just to run your fingers over it and knock any edges off. Okay? And then there, that is how I want to sand my piece. Then you'd sand both pieces. You go through sanding them all. So what you can do right now is pause the video, and then you can get them both sanded, and then we'll move on to showing you how to stain your pieces. Alright, now that we've got both pieces sanded, what you need to do is we're going to change the color of this by putting some oil on here just to stain it a little bit, make it look a little nicer. In your station you should find this finished cloth and open this up, and this should be fairly gooey. This should go on to cover your complete yo-yo, and you'll see it, the way it will make the change of it. Now, one thing you don't want to do is set these yo-yo halves on the counter when you're done staining them. You want to put them in your box because we don't want our counters to get this oil off because it's difficult to get off. So pull these rags out, and you're gonna feel it on your hand, and it's going to just change the color of it. So it looks pretty nice, real slick. You don't need to, again, put it inside the hole. We don't want oil inside the hole. And just get it covered with oil. And yours might take a little bit longer than that, but just go ahead and get both pieces nice and good coat on. Just make sure you got the whole thing. Put the lid back on this, and your hands are quite oily. You can go over to the sink, which is over there, and wash your hands if you'd like.